Thank you for tuning in. My name is Tom. This is weaponseducation.com. And this is my response to the mass shooting slaughter of our children and teachers in Connecticut, United States of America. This goes to everybody in the world. Coincidentally, simultaneously today in China, another psychopath went into an elementary school and with a knife stabbed a bunch of 5-year-olds, 22 of them as a matter of fact. So we have this problem with psychopaths on a worldwide basis. Let's focus on the Connecticut shooting, and I'm both angry and of course I'm extremely distraught and upset. I was in actually almost tears, wasn't tears today when I saw the first newsreels of what happened. Now, those of you who are new to the channel, this is weaponseducation.com. Like I said, my name is Tom. This is a channel that's all about being a responsible gun owner. Responsible. As an American, in this new world that we live in, of low morals and spiraling out of control with all these psychopaths, it's your responsibility as an adult to protect yourself. It's your responsibility now. Law enforcement's incredible, and my father's law enforcement, and I come from a family of law enforcement. You guys rock, you guys are great, but you're for after the fact in 95% of the cases. It's our responsibility as adults to arm ourselves and protect ourselves in this crazy, crazy world we live in. And it's also our responsibility as adults to protect our children, which also includes in the schools. The reason why I'm angry is because anti-gun politicians create what's called these free fire zones. That's what those of us who are pro-gun and level-headed, responsible gun owners call it. Free fire zones, meaning a place where a psychopath can go in armed to the hilt and either stab or shoot a bunch of innocent people who are just sitting ducks, is what took place today. I mean, 5-year-olds. These free fire zones have to become a thing of the past. Just came to mind. If you walk into a courthouse, it's a free fire zone. You're not allowed to carry your gun, if you're a concealed weapons permit holder, into a courthouse. But does the courthouse have a bunch of armed security within it? Yes, they have law enforcement all over the place. Yes, but why don't our schools have it? Why don't I have 2 children? I have a 5- and 7-year-old daughter. I'm actually going to put one of them, my beautiful Jessica, my 7-year-old first grader, in this video and get her perspective, her little 7-year-old perspective as to what happened today. The bottom line is we need to do away with free fire zones. We need to arm some of our teachers in America. We need to arm principals. We need to arm more security officers. I know the budgets are tight, but you know what? These lives are too precious to be lost to psychopaths. We've seen it with all types of psychopaths, whether it be a Jeffrey Dahmer who kills massive amounts of people and then eats them. There's so many different psychopaths in America right now. It's just like, it's too hard to even fathom. This is not the same America I grew up in. These children, we have to protect them. Let's talk about it. And please understand, if you're watching this video and you're new to a pro-gun channel, please understand that us in the gun community, we want to be level-headed. We're all about protecting our lives and protecting other lives. And I know I say this. If I happen to be there in any situation, wherever it is, the mall in Oregon, if I happen to be there, I would risk my life and storm that shooter and try to stop him from killing other innocent lives. That's the Oregon mall shooting, where I can legally carry a gun and went into a mall. And I think all of us on this channel would do the same thing. We would risk our lives to protect others. And these people in schools where it's a free fire zone and you're not allowed to carry a gun, they're all sitting ducks. Let's talk about it. This is weapons education. weaponseducation.com. I first heard the news earlier today. First thing I did was just take the day off of work and decided to go pick up my children from school. I gave them a big hug. 2 girls, 5, 7. You'll meet Jessica here in a moment, a 7-year-old, talking to you about what they do in these elementary schools to protect our children, which is fine. They're doing their best. You know, lock up in a room and, you know, go under the desk. But when someone comes in armed to the hilt to kill people, that's just not enough. We need our adults within schools to be armed. We need level-headed concealed weapon permit holders have the ability to go pick up our children and protect our children in case of a psychopath walking in there with a gun and doing what this nut job did today. I have a whole list here over the past 20 years of all the gun shootings in elementary schools and high schools. 95% of them are 15, 13, 12 years old, 13 years old, 20 years old youngsters doing all these mass shootings, including Columbine and all the others, Virginia Tech and all these nut jobs. It's happened a lot in the past. This is just the past 20 years. There's about 15, 18 of them. Children, students, faculty, murdered, slaughtered. None of them being able to protect themselves. Right now, let's just take a breather and let me introduce you to my daughter and get her perspective. Her name is Jessica, the love of my life. And I want to say this also. You never realize how much you can love a person until you have a child. For those of you who have children, you know what I'm talking about. Then you realize how much you can love another human being. Like I said, I have a 5- and 7-year-old daughter. I can't even fathom what these families are going through losing these children. Here is Jessica. She's 7. She's first grade. Let's do that now. All right, I want to put a different perspective on this video, and I have 2 young girls. How old are you, Jessica?
7.
7. What grade are you in?
First.
First. You have a younger sister?
Yes.
What grade is she in? Kindergarten?
Yes.
How old is she?
5.
5. Okay. Let's talk about your school. And you haven't been on the channel in a long time, have you?
No.
Remember one long time ago, when you were a little baby. How old were you when you were on the channel?
6.
You were 6, about a year ago. That's right. So very rarely do I put the children on the channel. Okay, so Jessica, you're in first grade. And do you feel safe at school? Let's talk to our friends. Do you feel safe at school?
Yes.
What kind of drills do they do for you in case a bad guy comes into school?
Code red.
And what is code red?
Like when they shut the blinds and the doors, and they put a paper over the windows, and we go under our chairs.
Okay. And does the alarm go off?
No.
No. So the teacher all of a sudden just says code red?
Yes, because the speaker goes on, and the people from the principal say that.
Oh, so the principal gets on the intercom and says it's code red?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so exactly what do you do again? They shut the lights. What else?
They put a paper over the windows.
Put a paper over the windows.
And shut the doors.
And they shut the doors. They probably lock them, right?
Yeah.
And then you get under the desk.
Yeah.
Okay, now you know what happened today, right? A lot of poor children your age were shot, and all of them died, right? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Now, you know Daddy always teaches you to do the right thing, and do you feel safe when we go to the mall? Because you know Daddy has a gun, right?
Yeah.
And don't you feel safer that I can protect you, Mommy, and your little baby sister, Sophia?
Yes.
Do you think your teachers should have a gun so they can protect you? Would you feel safer?
Yes.
And especially after today, if some of those teachers, you realize if they had a gun, maybe they could have stopped that crazy man from shooting all those poor children, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the security man at your school. I'm looking to talk to our friends now. Is there a security man that works there?
Yes.
And what does he drive around, on a golf cart?
Yes.
And does he have a gun?
Yes.
That's good. And he used to work in the army, you said, right? He's a nice man.
Yeah.
But there's only one?
Mhm.
Is your school big? It's a big school, right?
Yeah.
It's very big. So you think that he can protect the thousands of students in your school? It's better than nothing, one man with a gun, right? But there's only one, right? So that's. What else can you say about what happened today? What do you think? You think the teachers should have guns, right? But you told me today you're afraid that what if the students, the little children, get their hands on the gun? That would be bad, right?
Yeah.
But maybe if the teachers had special training and they knew what they were doing with the gun, they can protect the little children like you, right? And maybe if there was more security officers, men on the golf carts, maybe if there was 3 or 4 of them driving around the school at all times, maybe that would make you feel safer, right? Okay, and your little baby sister, she's in elementary school also, and she's in kindergarten, and you're in 1st grade, and tell everybody that you feel bad about what happened today.
Sad.
It's very sad. Okay, let's move on with the video and talk about something else. All right, I think the last 2 words she said was extremely appropriate. Very sad. Sad for 2 reasons. I think it could have been avoided because I think if part of the faculty of that school was armed, a lot of it could have been avoided. I can't say all of it, but a lot of it could have been avoided. The faculty could have at least fought back. The teachers, the principal, and that original person shot, I believe, could have been armed and stopped the carnage. Now, what do we do moving forward? Do we blame the gun? No. Like I said, in China, some guy took a knife and stabbed 22 elementary school students just today simultaneously. Now, like I said, it's been going on for years. Now, it's not the gun. It's the morals in America going down the tubes. It's the people who are disturbed, and I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't get into their brain on why they would do something so horrific. But I will say, if any anti-gun person takes this, like a Bob Costas, or Mayor Bloomberg, or a Lautenberg senator, takes this and tries to make new gun laws, the NRA and myself and this channel, we're going to come back and we're going to make everyone realize that guns don't kill people, people kill people. And we can't stop psychopaths. The Jeffrey Dahmers are out there. They're going to kill people. They're going to put them in freezers. They're going to eat them. There's so many psychopaths out there that there's no law that can stop carnage from happening. The best thing we can do is arm level-headed people. Wean the level-headed people out within these elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges, universities. Figure out who's the most level-headed people as far as teachers and faculty to give them a permit to carry a gun. What happened today in America is actually going to be one of the biggest turning points for our school systems in America, I think. It's going to be kind of like what happened on 9/11 and what happened to airports. This is going to be a whole new direction, and I hope the direction is what I just said. Arm some teachers, arm more security officials, officers. I know that money's tight, so maybe if it has to come from the parents and they got to pay an extra $1 or $2 a month times thousands of students, I think every parent in America will say, yeah, the public schools are part of my taxes, they're free, but I'll pay $5 a month per parent, per student to get security officers with armed guns to protect that school. My children go to private school. It doesn't make a difference. They happen to have a security officer there that's armed, but that's one person to protect 1,500 students. It's, you know, it's something, but it's not enough. This is just my first video. I'm angry because no one was able to protect themselves in the schools. Just simply are free fire zones, and it's a sin. And there's a lot of anti-gun politicians who are going to blame this and look for more gun laws and gun bans. That's silly. You're just asking for more psychopaths to find free fire zones to kill more people who are sitting ducks. Let's get real. This is not the same America it was just 20 years ago or 30 years ago. This is a different America. The morals are down. When I was a kid, I would run off at 8, 10, 12 years old with the bicycle and go off, and my mother would say, "Be home by dinner." And I'd be off with my friends in the neighborhood playing in the streets, and no worries about being abducted or no worries about any type of craziness like today. The worst thing we did was maybe throw eggs at each other or get in a fist fight. Today these kids are stabbing each other and doing unbelievable, horrific things. We live in a new world. That's my take. And I'll be talking more about this, but the bottom line is, if you're new to weaponseducation.com, please subscribe, because we live in a new America. We need to arm ourselves, and it's our right as an adult. It's a Second Amendment right. And it's your obligation to protect yourself, to get a gun, go through training, get proficient with that gun, and carry it at all times if it's legal for you. And then also, we have to protect our children. I just want to leave you with that. We'll be talking more about this subject in the future. God bless.